learn about parallels and perpendicular lines and their slopes. So if I want to graph y equals 3/4 x, y equals 3/4 x, then I say y-intercept of what?
Up through. No.
Y-intercept. What's y-intercept?
Over 1.
Hello. This is it. I'll give you a
When
hint.
when a point crosses y.
What? Yeah. No, but what is it in this case?
Negative 1.
So I'm going to go down 1, and I'm going to put a point there. And then I have a slope of 3/4, which means what? Up 3, 1, 2, 3, and over 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And there's that line, that point. And then I'm going to connect the dots. Alright? Using a different color. Because I like different colors. And there's that line. Now say I want to graph the line y equals 3/4 x plus 2. What's the y-intercept? 2. So I go up 1, 2. And then from that point, I still have a slope of 3/4. So I'm going to go up 3 and over 4, or up over 4 and up 3. Does it matter?
Up 4.
It doesn't, no. You could go right 4 and up 3, or you could go up 3 and over 4. Doesn't matter. But this is your up down, and this is your left right. Right? So I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and over 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that right? Yep, over 4. And I'm going to draw a line through those 2 points. Ooh, I have a line tool on here. And, ooh, I heard someone say it.
Me.
Who said that, Blake? What did you say?
Parallel.
Very good. So what Blake said is exactly true. They are parallel. Right? That's what we were supposed to figure out. And this, if you see little arrows on here, like on lines, that usually means those lines are parallel. Okay? And some of you were getting confused yesterday. Sometimes lines, they name them by letters. So they might call this like cursive letters a lot of times. So line L and line M. And it doesn't matter. I'm not sure how to make a cursive M. Is that a cursive M?
It's like 3.
It's got 3 little things. I don't like that. So let's just call it M. Okay? But they would write that mathematically, or when you get to geometry, if you see something like this, L, M. That means line L is parallel to line M. So we come up with a little rule, okay? If slopes are, I can't write today, slopes are equal, then the lines are parallel. There, that's not how you spell parallel. I know how to spell. Okay? That's all you got to know. Well, it's not all you got to know. Okay? Now we're going to have an equation. Now we're going to have a problem. Wait?
Yes.
Okay, I'll wait. Wait time.
Very good.
Right time.
I like you over there, Miss Andrew.
That's
I think that you're more, I can see when you go like this or like that. She's always telling me what to say. She's like the person she's like the what do you call it? What do you call those at the comedy shows? They have plants, you know?
Like plants?
They, like at the comedy show, if the comedian isn't funny or something, they have someone in the audience who always cracks up, you know, or says something, to make the guy say his joke. He goes like he says, you know, prompter or something like that. Okay. Anyway, perfect. So now you'll have a problem. Or we got that down? Okay. So now I might have a problem like this. Write the equation of y is they'll have problems like this. Is y equal negative 1/3 x plus 5 parallel to y equals y, or parallel to 2x plus 6y equals 12. And now big question mark there. Okay? What do you think? Yeah, well, so this one doesn't look, this one isn't in slope intercept form, so I don't know the slope. So I have to put this one into slope intercept form first. Whoops, that should be a, sorry guys, that should be a, that should be a y, not an x, okay? This is in standard form, okay? So the first thing I want to do is get the y by itself. How do I do that?
Subtract 2x.
Subtract 2x from both sides. So I'm going to subtract 2x from here, and I'm going to subtract 2x from there. And now what I have is 6y. And I want to keep the 2x in front of the 12 because I want the 12 to come at the end. Minus 2x plus 12. I still don't have y quite by itself.
Wait, why is it? Oh.
Let's divide by 6.
Very good. Blake's on a roll today. So I'm going to divide by 6. Okay? So I'm going to divide by 6. I'm going to divide that by 6. And I'm going to divide that by 6. 6 divided by 6 gives you y equals, what's minus 2 divided by 6?
3, negative 3.
Yeah, so I have a negative 1 on top and a 3 on the bottom, x, and what's 6 divided by 12? 12 divided by 6. 2. Do these things have these same slopes?
Yes.
Yes, okay? So because this slope is the same as this slope, then the lines are parallel. Okay, so if one's in a different form, you have to put it into a form where you can tell what the slope is. Like point slope form tells you the slope, but this standard form doesn't tell you the slope, so you have to go through and find the slope. So the answer is, you betcha. Yes, you betcha. You have to write that. That's not how you spell it. You betcha. Slopes are the same. Slopes are equal. Got it? Question so far? All right. What if I give you one like this? Right? And you saw one like this kind of yesterday on that sheet on the Cartesian island thing we did yesterday. Write the equation of a line. Right? The equation of a line through negative 3, 1 parallel to y equals 1/2 x plus 1. Okay? Could you do that?
Yes.
No way.
No.
So, maybe. What you want to do in this case, y, you want to use the point slope form, probably. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So just like you were doing before, what goes in for x1? What goes in for x1?
3, negative 3.
Negative 3. Very good. Lizzie is on a roll today. So negative 3 goes in here. So you have x minus negative 3, y minus y1. What's y1? 1 equals, now what's m?
1/2.
Yes, because if it's parallel, it's got the same slope as this one. And then it's just 1/2. Okay? And now I want to simplify a little bit. Y minus 1 equals 1/2 x plus 3. Now, that's not a square there. That 2 goes up. Okay? So, if they ask you for the equation, there's your equation. If they ask you to put the equation in slope-intercept form, then you have to do a little bit more. You have to go, So this would be okay, but to put it into slope-intercept form, then I'm going to have to distribute this through there, and this through there, which gives you 1/2 x plus 1/2 times 3, which is 3/2. Is this too much for you guys? Maybe not. Then I'm going to add 1. Whoops, I want a different color. Then I'm going to add 1 to both sides. And what I get is y equals 1/2 x. Anyone know what 3/2 plus 1 is?
3/2 plus 1, 1 and 3/2. No,
1.
2, 2, yeah.
Yep, 2.5 or 5/2. So this line and this line, notice that they're parallel. They just have different y-intercepts, right? They have the same slopes, but they have different y-intercepts. So this one goes through 2.5 on the y-axis, right? One goes through 2.5, and one goes through 1, but they're basically parallel. Whoops, not very good, but they shouldn't be that so, but they look something like that if I were to graph them. Okay? Yes? Is that good? Everybody learning? Okay. Okay, now I'm gonna throw a wrench into the works. Is that okay? Now you got to know about perpendicular lines.
Are those ones in the sideways?
Yeah. So do you guys know what perpendicular lines look like?
Wait.
Yes.
No.
A perpendicular line isn't it like it's like an intersection of lines?
And what's true about the angle between them? They're how many degrees?
90.
Yeah, so perpendicular lines look like this. Okay? Rather than do it, what?
Does everybody in their notes have that parallel lines have the same slope?
You should have that.
Oh.
Perpendicular lines.
And then
Oh,
Mr.
just
Leader
giving
will
you-
share with you about perpendicular lines. The
Oh, I
parallel
like
lines
how the
always have
colors
same
I'm using.
slope.
Okay? Perpendicular lines have something special about the slopes. If this has a slope, say, of 2/3, guess what the slope of this would have to be? I'm
2 over
just,
3.
what?
2 over 3.
No, does it look like it has the same slope?
It would be 3 over 2. No.
Very close. It would be
4.
-3/2, okay? So if lines are perpendicular, then their slopes are called opposite reciprocals, okay? Perpendicular lines, slopes are opposite reciprocals, meaning you flip it over and you make it,
Change the sign.
and you change the sign, okay?
So really, opposite reciprocals or negative reciprocals is just fancy words for flipping your fraction and changing the sign.
Okay?
So
So
have that in your notes. Just give them a minute to put that in their notes,
put that in your notes, okay?
please.
Perpendicular lines, so, wait, I gotta pause.
Wait, what are we writing down?
So if I did this, find the slope of the line. This symbol means perpendicular to. You'll see this a lot, okay? This means perpendicular.
And sometimes you'll see it with a little right angle mark too. It means the same thing both ways.
Right, perpendicular to, okay? Find the slope of the line perpendicular to the line, sorry, I can't write from the side. The line y equals 1/2 x plus 5. You can do that. Find the slope of the line perpendicular to the line. Will be the slope. Sometimes I do like this. Slope of the perpendicular. That means the slope of the perpendicular line. Who can tell me? Flip it. What's 1/2 flipped?
2 over 1.
2 over 1.
So it's
And then I just make it negative. Okay? So it's just negative 2. You get that? Okay? How about, what if I had negative? Here's a tricky one. What's the opposite reciprocal of negative 1?
1.
Positive 1, right? Because negative 1 is the same as negative 1 over 1. And then I flip it upside down, and I get 1 over negative 1. And then that's negative 1, but then I have to make it positive, right? So it's just like 1. The opposite reciprocal of negative 1 is 1. Okay. What's the opposite of 0? What's the opposite reciprocal of 0 over 5? This is where
Negative 5.
Yeah, this is where it gets tricky, because the slope of a line, if the slope is 0 over 5, it's just flat. You had a question on your quiz like this yesterday. Slope of a line 0 is like that. But a slope, what would the line look at perpendicular to that? Very good. It would be vertical, it would be straight up and down. Okay? So the slope of this is not negative 5 over 0. The slope is undefined. Slope is undefined. They call that undefined because you can't divide by 0. You get infinity. All right? And the slope of this slope is 0. So when on that question on your quiz, you're hitting yourself in the head, oh, I got that one wrong yesterday. Right? So this has a 0 slope, this has an undefined slope. So I can do one more example, and then I'll set you free. Okay. Find the equation of the line perpendicular to the point. So, last one. Find, should I type it with my typing tool? Find the equation
Make sure you get this in your notes, because this is kind of difficult when you have to find the equation.
Yeah. That is perpendicular to y equals 3/4 x plus 1 through the points through the points 6, negative 2. Okay? So there's a couple different ways to do this. What's the slope of my perpendicular? Can you tell me the slope of the perpendicular?
4 over 3. Negative 4.
Negative 4 over 3 is the slope of the perpendicular. And here's my point. Alright? So I'm going to do, there's 2 different ways to do this, and I'm going to show you both of them. Okay? One is to use point slope form, okay, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And you take your m and you plug it in, and you take your x1 and your y1 and you plug it in. So you're going to go y minus negative 2, right? Y minus negative 2 equals negative 4 over 3 times x minus what?
2.
X minus
3. Wait.
x minus 6, right? And then I'm going to simplify a little bit. Y plus 2 equals negative 4/3 x minus 6. And if they say leave it in point slope form, that's your answer. Okay? Yes? But if they say in slope intercept form, then you got to go through this process. You got to go y plus 2 equals negative 4 over 3x minus this times minus this. So it's minus 4/3 times 6, which is like 6 over 1, which is y plus 2. This is where you don't like fractions, right? Negative 4 over 3x minus What's 4 times 6? 24 over 3. Did I do that right?
I think it's a positive.
It's a negative 6, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, because it's negative 4 times negative 6. Right? So
Yes.
that gives you positive 24 over 3, which gives you, I know this is a lot of work, well, okay, which gives you y plus 2 equals negative 4/3 x plus, what's 24 divided by 3? You can do that. 9 equals 8. Now, one more step. I promise this is the last step. Subtract 2, and I get, subtract 2. I know this is confusing. Just bear with me because I'm going to show you an easier way. Okay? Y equals negative 4/3 x plus 6. So this would be the equation perpendicular to this line, right, that goes through this point. Now another way to do the same thing, okay, I'm going to move this over here. Another way to do the same thing is to, instead of plugging into this formula, I can plug into y equals mx plus b. Remember that? That's slope-intercept form, which is the form that this is in, down here. So I'm going to take my y, I plug in negative 2 for y, and I plug in negative 4/3 for m. What do I plug in for x? Oh, yeah, I did that right. What do I plug in for x? 6. And b I don't know yet. Alright, so I'm going to try to find b. So I get negative 2. Negative 4 times 6 gives you what? Negative 4 times 6.
24. Negative 24.
Negative 24 over 3 plus b. What's negative 24 divided by 3? Negative 8 plus b. And then I'm going to add 8 to both sides. I'm going to go plus 8, and I get b equals 6. Look, just like I had over here. See that? So now I can rewrite my equation. Y equals the slope, which is negative 4/3 x plus 6. So this is a little different method of doing the same thing. If they say leave your answer in point slope form, I could have just stopped here. If they said I want my answer in slope intercept form, then you would probably want to use this one, okay, over here. So this is slope intercept form, slope int form right there. Okay, so I know that's a lot of steps, and hopefully not all the problems will be that complicated, okay? But this one was kind of nice because that fraction simplified, right, to a nice number. So your homework, ready? You ready? Ready? Page 314. Every single prep. No, I'm just kidding. 1 through 31 odd. You can do that. And not all of them are like problems like this. Some of them are just, are these lines parallel or perpendicular? Neither, blah, 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 blah. Okay? So you can't see that? Now can you see it? I'm going to stop recording here. And remember, you heard it here on the famous Mr. Leader's third period math channel. Whoa.